Hi, boys and girls. This week we're going to be making some 3D candy hearts or conversation hearts. And I've got some crayons, I have some markers and some water, and that's really all you need for this project. So I'm going to start by drawing with my crayons. If you would prefer to draw with pencil first, you could absolutely do that and then trace over it. But if you do it that way, draw really lightly with your pencil. So I'm going to start by just drawing out a couple of heart shapes. And I want to make sure that I make my heart shapes nice and large so that I have room to write on them. And I'm going to push down pretty hard with my crayon to make a really dark outline. Now, after I draw a heart shape, I'm going to start at the point here. And I'm going to draw a vertical line that kind of matches up with the center of the heart. So imagine and draw a line from here to here. If that line were to keep going, you'll draw at that angle. Now, to make my heart look 3D, I'm going to kind of draw the side of the heart from the bottom of this vertical line up to the side of the heart and kind of disappear behind the side of the heart. Now, I'm going to repeat that step in a few different colors. And some of my hearts can kind of go off the page. They could even overlap if you wanted to make them overlap. And I'm going to keep focusing on getting some really dark outlines here. I think I'll make this heart overlap behind this one so you guys can see what that might look like. Now I have to imagine my line there because I can't see the whole thing. Let's see, I'll do this one sideways and turn different angles. This one I'm going to let it go off the page quite a bit. And I can throw in a couple of smaller ones too. But again, I don't want to go too small because I need room to write on the hearts. I'll do one more. All right. Now I could keep going and add lots more hearts. I actually think I will add one more right here. This space looks a little empty to me. So next I'm going to start adding the messages. And usually the messages are all written in pink, kind of a reddish pink, but you could change it up. You could put different colors on different hearts. But I'm going to think about, what those conversation hearts say. And you could, of course, make up your own phrases. I'm going to do XOXO. I'm going to do, let's see, I'll do one that says be mine. And I'm making my letters nice and thick, really pushing down with my crayon because I'm going to go over this with some marker and kind of paint over it. And I want to make sure that my crayon is thick enough to resist that water when I add it. Let's see, I'll do one that says love. And you can add all kinds of fun messages. All right, now that I've added messages to all my conversation hearts, I'm going to work on adding my markers and water. Oh, I missed one. Don't want to forget this one. I think this one will say, make this one say XOXO too because I don't have a lot of room. All right, so when I add my markers, I'm going to get some different colors here. I want to be careful not to draw directly over the crayon, because if that waxy crayon gets on my marker, it might not work very well. Now you can match up your marker colors with the crayon colors or do contrasting colors, and I'll show you both ways. I'll do matching colors on this one. So I'm using the side of my marker because I want to get a really thick line, and I'm just drawing an outline around the edges of my crayon, kind of inside the crayon, not right on top of it. And I don't need to color it in all the way. I'll do a contrasting color on this one. Do orange on my green so you can see what that might look like too. I just need a few lines. Then when I take my water, I'm just going to get some water with a paintbrush. I'm going to kind of blend that marker in, almost like watercolor. I'm just going to pull that paint around, and I'm going to pull it over my crayon. And it'll resist the crayon because water and wax, they won't mix together. And that gives me kind of a painted look. And it looks really neat too when you have contrasting colors, like the green and orange here, because that green crayon pushes the orange away, so it doesn't cover the green, it just makes it kind of pop. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my hearts. I'm going to add different colors here. And you could also paint your background when you're done. If you wanted to add some colors around the background and blend that in, you could do that as well. Don't need a whole lot of marker lines, especially if your markers have still have a lot of ink left in them. But you do want to get a thick line, so be sure to use the side of your marker. And if you can't do that, just add some extra lines. Let's see. Make a green one here. All right, now I've got all my marker lines in, so I'll go ahead and blend my marker. And the reason I only put those marker lines around the outside is because when I pull the marker towards the middle over where the lettering is, I want to make sure that the lines aren't too dark. If the marker is not too dark there, it doesn't cover up my messages. And I'm cleaning my brush when I switch to a new color because I don't want to mix, especially if those two colors don't mix well. I don't want to make my hearts brown or gray. All right. Now you could add a background color. You could either color it with crayon or you could use marker and then fill in your background. If you do that, I would suggest letting your water dry here first so that those colors don't bleed together. And I can't wait to see what you come up with.